Jack Miller looked out the big window of Galactic Academy. He watched as spaceships from many different planets came and went. Jack had been at the Academy for 3 months now. He was the first human ever accepted into this special school program. Earth had only recently joined the Galactic Union, and Jack wanted to show everyone that humans belonged among the stars too. "Still looking at the ships, Miller?" asked Professor Zindar. The professor was a tall blue alien with 4 arms and skin that shimmered like water. "You will be late for your next class." Jack checked his watch and frowned. "Sorry, Professor. I'm going now." The classroom was full of 30 students from all over the galaxy. Some had tentacles. Others had wings. A few glowed in the dark. As the only human, Jack often felt different from everyone else. But today he felt ready. He had studied hard for the class discussion about dangerous animals. Professor Krill was teaching today. He looked like a tall praying mantis with big eyes that seemed to see everything at once. He pointed to a screen at the front of the room. "Today we talk about the top hunters from each of your home planets," said Professor Krill. "Each student will show us their world's best predator. First to present was Zork from planet Rigel. He showed a huge creature that ate entire mountains. Then Lena from Tau Ceti showed an animal that could read the minds of its prey. One by one, each student showed scary creatures. Some could turn invisible. Others could shoot poison. A few could even travel through time. When it was almost Jack's turn, a green alien named Grax laughed loudly. "I wonder what weak animal the human will show us. Earth is such a boring planet. Their gravity is weak. Their sun is small. Their animals must be pathetic." Many students laughed with Grax. Jack had gotten used to this kind of treatment, but today he just smiled. He knew something. They didn't. "Miller," called Professor Krill, "please show us Earth's top predator." Jack walked to the front of the room. He turned on his computer tablet. The big screen showed Earth's oceans. "Earth is different from many of your planets," Jack began. "Most of Earth is covered in water, saltwater oceans that make up more than 70% of our planet. While humans have become the main species on land, we are not the best hunters in the oceans." Grax smiled with his pointed teeth. "So you admit humans are weak?" "I admit we don't have natural weapons," Jack said calmly. "But Earth's oceans have created something that has stayed almost the same for over 400 million years because it reached nearly perfect design." The screen changed to show a sleek gray shape moving through dark water. "This is what we call the great white shark." The screen zoomed in on the shark's face, showing rows of sharp, triangle-shaped teeth. "Not very scary," said Lina. "It doesn't even have laser eyes or mind control." Jack kept going. "The great white doesn't need those things. It has existed in almost the same form since before the dinosaurs, because it's perfectly made for its environment." He touched his tablet, and the screen started showing facts and numbers. A full-grown great white can be 20 feet long and weigh over 4,000 pounds. Its skeleton is made of cartilage, not bone, making it flexible but very strong. It can swim at speeds of 35 miles per hour in short bursts. The students looked a bit more interested now, but still not impressed. "It has up to 3,000 teeth arranged in many rows," Jack continued. "When one tooth falls out, another one moves forward to replace it. A great white will use up to 50,000 teeth in its lifetime." Zork shrugged his massive shoulders. "Many animals have backup body parts." "True," Jack agreed. "But sharks also have amazing senses. They can detect electrical fields as small as half a billionth of a volt, enough to feel the tiny electricity from a beating heart. They can smell a single drop of blood in 25 gallons of water and find where it came from up to 3 miles away." The classroom grew quieter as Jack kept talking. He could see real interest replacing the earlier mockery in the eyes of his classmates. The great white hunts by hiding, and then using sudden speed, Jack explained, showing video of a shark attacking. A seal. It strikes from below with so much force that larger prey sometimes gets thrown completely out of the water. The first bite causes terrible damage, and then the shark often swims away to let the prey bleed to death before coming back to eat. Professor Krill's antennae twitched with interest. A smart hunting method that keeps the predator safe. Exactly, Jack said. But what makes sharks truly special is how they sense things. Besides smell and feeling electricity, they have a special line system along their bodies that detects tiny changes in water pressure. This lets them sense movement from far away, even in complete darkness. Jack switched the screen to show a shark's brain. Unlike many predators that only rely on size or strength, the great white uses a lot of its brain for hunting. They aren't mindless killers. They're calculating, patient, and methodical. Grax, who had been getting quieter, finally spoke up. But surely these creatures have weaknesses? Ways that humans can beat them? We're not their natural food, Jack replied. Most shark attacks on humans are mistakes. They think surfers are seals. But yes, they have weaknesses. Their gills must constantly filter oxygen from the water, meaning they have to keep swimming to breathe. Some kinds of sharks can rest on the ocean floor and push water through their gills, but many, including the great white, must swim continuously from birth until death. A lifetime of never stopping, said Professor Krill. Fascinating. But the scariest thing about sharks, Jack continued, is how they respond to blood. When a shark detects blood in the water, it enters what we call a feeding frenzy, a state where its already sharp senses become super focused on hunting. Many sharks might come to a bleeding target, driven by an instinct that overrides almost everything else. The classroom was now completely silent. There are over 500 types of sharks on Earth, Jack said. They've survived multiple mass extinctions. When the dinosaurs died, sharks lived on. When the oceans became more acidic, sharks adapted. They've outlasted countless other species because they are, in many ways, the perfect predator for their environment. By the time Jack finished speaking, even Grax was leaning forward with interest. For the first time since arriving at the academy, Jack saw respect in the eyes of his alien classmates. They were finally seeing Earth not as a backward planet, but as a world that had created one of the most efficient hunting machines in the galaxy. I want to see this shark in action, said Grax, crossing his big green arms. Pictures and words are one thing, but I need proof that this Earth creature is truly special. Professor Krill's compound eyes shimmered with interest. An excellent suggestion. Miller, does your data include any simulation materials we could use? Jack nodded. Yes, Professor. I brought everything needed for a full sensory simulation. We could use the Academy's simulation chamber. Perfect, said Professor Krill. Class, let's move to the immersion lab. The students followed Professor Krill down the long hallway. Jack walked at the back of the group, carrying his tablet. For the first time since coming to the Academy, students were asking him questions instead of making fun of him. Can these sharks really smell blood from miles away? Asked a small purple alien named Vera. Yes, said Jack. Their sense of smell is about 10,000 times better than humans. Do they ever hunt in groups? Asked another student with 3 eyes. Some species do, Jack explained. But great whites are usually solo hunters. The immersion lab was a large round room with a big clear tank in the center. The tank was filled with a special gel that could create realistic sensations on the skin. The walls around the tank were covered with screens that would show what was happening in the simulation. Who would like to volunteer for the shark encounter? Asked Professor Krill. Most students stepped back, but Grax stepped forward immediately. I will try this Earth predator. I'm sure it's not as dangerous as the beasts from my own world. This is only a simulation, Professor Krill reminded everyone. No real harm will come to anyone, but the sensory feedback will feel very realistic. Grax nodded and stepped into the tank. The clear gel closed around him, supporting his weight, so he seemed to float. Jack connected his tablet to the lab's main computer. I'll set up a standard ocean environment. Grax will have the swimming abilities of an average human in this scenario. The screens around the room lit up with blue water. Inside the tank, Grax now appeared to be floating in an open ocean. The rest of the class watched on the surrounding screens. You'll be in water near a coral reef, Jack explained. There's a floating platform about 100 meters away. Your goal is simply to swim to it. Grax's voice came through the speakers. This seems too easy, human. Jack started the program. Remember, this simulation includes all sensory datasight. Sound, smell, touch, and even the shark's ability to detect your heartbeat and muscle movements. On the screens, the class watched as Grax began swimming through the clear blue water. For several minutes, nothing happened. Is something supposed to happen? Grax called out. Sounding board. Jack watched the data on his tablet. After a few more moments, he spoke quietly. The shark has found you. It's circling about 30 meters below you. Several students moved closer to the screens, trying to see the predator. I don't see anything, Grax said. Your Earth predator is... A dark shape moved quickly across the bottom of the screen, just for a second. Then it was gone. What was that? Asked Vera, leaning forward. The shark is checking things out, Jack explained. Great whites often investigate before attacking. Inside the simulation, Grax had stopped swimming. He was turning in circles, trying to spot the threat. The screens showed the ocean stretching in all directions, with the platform still far away. Then, without warning, the screens filled with a massive gray form as a great white shark, 20 feet long, shot upward from the deep water directly. Beneath Grax, the class gasped as the simulated shark struck with explosive speed. On screen, they saw huge jaws open to reveal rows of sharp teeth. The shark's black eye rolled back for protection as it attacked. Inside the tank, Grax shouted, in surprise. The simulation wouldn't cause real pain, but it would accurately represent the pressure and feeling of the attack. The shark hit with such force that Grax was pushed partially out of the water, exactly as Jack had described earlier. Then the massive predator disappeared back into the deep water, leaving a stunned Grax floating in water that was turning red with simulated blood. The first strike is to disable the prey, Jack explained calmly. Now the shark will circle while its prey weakens from blood loss. End the simulation, Professor Krill ordered. The tank cleared, returning to its normal state. Grax stood frozen, his green skin now much paler than before. A very educational demonstration, the professor said as Grax stepped out of the tank. Miller, your presentation has taught us all something important today. Grax walked slowly to Jack, his earlier. Arrogance gone. Your world's hunter, it attacks with such ... certainty. No hesitation. No mercy. Sharks aren't cruel, Jack explained. They're simply perfect at what they do. They've had 400 million years to get better at hunting. As the class filed out of the lab, students that had previously ignored Jack now surrounded him with questions. Had he ever seen a real shark? Were there more dangerous creatures in Earth's oceans? How had humans managed to survive on a planet with such efficient predators? Professor Krill stayed behind, waiting until the other students had left. An excellent presentation, Miller. I think you've changed how many students see Earth and humans. Jack nodded. Thank you, Professor. I just wanted them to understand that Earth isn't the weak planet they think it is. Our world has created some amazing life forms. Indeed, the professor agreed. And perhaps the most impressive thing is how your species has managed to thrive despite sharing a world with such perfect predators. That strength, I believe, is why humans will find their place among the stars. Later that evening, Jack found a message waiting on his tablet. It was from Grax. "Miller, I would like to learn more about Earth's wildlife. Perhaps we could study together for the next biology assignment. It seems I have much to learn about your world. Also, are there more dangerous creatures than sharks on Earth?" Jack smiled, typing a quick response. "Happy to help you study. And yes, we haven't even talked about crocodiles yet, or honey badgers, or even mosquitoes." Grax's reply came quickly. "Mosquitoes? What kind of terrifying creature is that?" Jack laughed. Maybe tomorrow he would explain how Earth's smallest predators had killed more humans throughout history than all the large predators combined. That would really give his classmates something to think about. Word spread quickly through the Galactic Academy. By the next morning, everyone had heard about the Earth Shark and Grax's experience in the simulation. Jack walked into the dining hall and found many students looking at him with new interest. Some even waved him over to their tables. "Is it true Earth has hundreds of different shark species?" asked a student with feathers instead of hair. "Over 500, Jack confirmed as he sat down with his breakfast tray. "And they've survived for hundreds of millions of years?" asked another student. Jack nodded. "Some shark fossils are over 400 million years old. They were swimming in Earth's oceans long before dinosaurs walked on land, and they survived when the dinosaurs didn't." Grax joined them, sitting next to Jack. This was a surprise. Before yesterday, Grax had been one of Jack's biggest critics. "I've been researching Earth wildlife all night," Grax said. "Your planet is much more interesting than I thought. You mentioned crocodiles and mosquitoes. Tell me about them." Jack smiled. "Crocodiles are reptiles that have existed for about 200 million years. They're ambush predators that live in water and on land. They have the strongest bite force of any animal on Earth, enough to crush bones easily." "Stronger than the shark?" asked a small blue student. "In different ways," Jack explained. "Sharks have more cutting power, but crocodiles have more crushing power. And crocodiles are patient hunters. They can wait motionless for hours until prey comes close enough." "And what about the mosquitoes you mentioned?" Grax asked. "They must be truly terrifying if you mentioned them alongside sharks and crocodiles." Jack laughed. "Mosquitoes are tiny flying insects, so small you can barely see them. But they're responsible for more human deaths than any other animal on Earth." The alien students looked confused. "How could something so small be dangerous?" asked one with tentacles for arms. "They spread diseases when they bite to drink blood," Jack explained. "Throughout human history, mosquito-borne diseases have killed millions of people. Even today, they cause about 700,000 human deaths each year." The students fell silent, thinking about this. "Your world sounds very dangerous," said Grax finally. "It can be," Jack agreed. "But that's why humans had to become smart and adaptable. We couldn't outfight a shark or a crocodile, so we had to outthink them." Just then, Professor Krill entered the dining hall and walked directly to their table. "Miller, I've been looking for you," said the professor. "The Academy Director wants to speak with you." Jack felt nervous. The Academy Director was an important person who rarely spoke with students. "Did I do something wrong?" "Not at all," Professor Krill assured him. "Your shark presentation has caused quite a stir. The director is very interested in learning more about Earth's biodiversity." Jack followed Professor Krill through the Academy's grand hallways. They stopped at a large door made of some shimmering material that seemed to change colors. "Go right in," said Professor Krill. "The director is waiting." Jack took a deep breath and entered the room. It was a large office with windows that looked out into space. Stars twinkled in the darkness beyond the glass. Behind a curved desk sat Director Zora, a tall, elegant alien with silvery skin and 4 arms. 2 of her arms were typing on computers, while another held a drink, and the 4th motioned for Jack to sit down. "Student Miller," said Director Zora in a musical voice, "I've heard much about your presentation yesterday. I hope it was acceptable." "Director," Jack said nervously, "more than acceptable." "It was enlightening," said the director. "I've been reviewing your file. Earth joined our Galactic Union only recently, and you are the first human to attend our academy. Many believe that Earth was too primitive to contribute much to galactic knowledge." Jack tried not to show his disappointment at hearing this. "But," continued the director, "your presentation on sharks has made many reconsider that view. It seems Earth has much to teach us about evolutionary success and survival." "Thank you, Director," said Jack, feeling proud. "I have a proposal for you," said Director Zora. "We would like you to create a special course on Earth's wildlife. A series of lectures for interested students and faculty." "Would you be willing to do this?" Jack was shocked. "Me? Teach a course? But I'm just a first-year student. You are also the only human at the academy, and our best source of knowledge about Earth's ecosystem," said the director. "Professor Krill would help you organize the material, of course." "I would be honored," Jack said, his voice steady despite his excitement. "Excellent," said Director Zora. "Your first lecture will be in 1 week. I suggest you begin with those sharks that made such an impression on everyone." As Jack left the director's office, his mind was racing. He had come to the academy hoping to learn about the galaxy, and now he would be teaching others about Earth. It was a huge responsibility. Professor Krill was waiting outside. "Congratulations, Miller. This is a rare honor for a first-year student." "Thank you, Professor. I'll need your help to prepare good lectures." "Of course," said Professor Krill. "But first, I believe you have some fans waiting to speak with you." Jack looked down the hallway and saw Grax standing with a group of at least 20 students from different species. "What's happening?" Jack asked. "They've formed a new club," explained Professor Krill. "The Earth Wildlife Study Group. Grax is the president. They want you to be their advisor." Jack couldn't believe how much had changed in just 1 day. Yesterday, most of these students had ignored him or laughed at him. Today, they wanted to learn from him that, as Jack walked toward the group, Grax stepped forward with a data tablet. "Miller, we've been researching Earth animals all morning. Is it true you have creatures called honey badgers that fight lions and survive snake venom?" Jack smiled. "Yes, honey badgers are pound for pound probably the toughest animals on Earth. They're known for their fearlessness and determination." "Fascinating," said Grax. "And these hippos that look peaceful but kill more people than lions?" "That's also true," Jack confirmed. "Hippos may look slow and gentle, but they're territorial and very aggressive when threatened." The students were all talking at once now, asking questions about bears, wolves, eagles, and more. Jack realized that his shark presentation had opened a door. For the first time, these aliens were seeing Earth not as a primitive backwater, but as a planet with unique and remarkable life forms. "I have an announcement," Jack said to the eager group. "The director has asked me to give a series of lectures about Earth wildlife. You're all invited to attend." The students cheered. Jack felt a warm sense of pride. He was no longer just the strange human trying to fit in at the academy. Now he was an ambassador for Earth and all its amazing creatures. Jack spent the next week preparing for his first lecture. He worked late into the night, organizing information about Earth's ocean predators. Professor Krill helped him create new simulations that would show the hunting techniques of different shark species. "Your lecture hall is full," Professor Krill told Jack on the day of the presentation. "We had to move to the main auditorium to fit everyone." Jack felt nervous as he walked into the academy's largest room. There were hundreds of beings from across the galaxy sitting in the seats. He saw students, teachers, and even some important-looking officials he didn't recognize. Director Zora stood at the front of the room. Welcome to the first lecture in our new series on Earth's wildlife. Today, student Jack Miller will expand on his famous shark presentation with more information about ocean predators from his homeworld. Jack took a deep breath and stepped onto the stage. His hands were shaking slightly as he connected his tablet to the room's display system. Then he looked out at the audience and saw Grex giving him a thumbs-up, a human gesture the alien must have learned recently. "Thank you for coming," Jack began. "Last week I introduced you to the great white shark, one of Earth's most efficient hunters. Today I want to show you the amazing diversity of sharks in Earth's oceans." The lights dimmed and the big screen showed a blue ocean scene. Jack felt his confidence growing as he began to talk about what he knew best, the wildlife of his home planet. Earth has over 500 species of sharks, Jack explained. They range from the whale shark, which can be over 40 feet long but eats only tiny plankton, to the dwarf lantern shark, which is smaller than my hand. The audience murmured with interest as images of different sharks appeared on screen. Some sharks, like the hammerhead, have special adaptations, Jack continued, showing a shark with its distinctive T-shaped head. Their wide-set eyes give them better vision, and their head shape helps them detect electrical signals from prey hiding under sand. For the next hour, Jack showed the incredible variety of sharks on Earth. He explained how the thresher shark uses its long tail like a whip to stun fish, how the goblin shark can shoot its jaws forward to catch prey, and how the Greenland shark can live for up to 500 years. When Jack finished his main presentation, many hands and tentacles went up with questions. "Is it true humans hunt sharks?" asked a faculty member near the front. Jack nodded. "Yes, unfortunately. Some sharks are hunted for their fins or meat. Many shark species are now endangered because of human activity. But why would you hunt such perfect predators?" asked another being. "Fear, mostly," Jack explained. Despite how rarely sharks attack humans, many people are afraid of them. And fear often leads to misunderstanding and destruction. More questions followed. Jack answered each one carefully, trying to be honest about both the wonders of Earth's wildlife and the problems caused by humans. Finally, Director Zora stood up. "Thank you, Student Miller, for this fascinating lecture. Next week, you will tell us about land predators, correct?" "Yes, Director," Jack said. "I'll be discussing big cats like lions and tigers, as well as wolves and bears." As the audience filed out, many stopped to thank Jack or ask more questions. Grax waited until most had left before approaching the stage. "That was excellent," Grax said, "but I have a private question for you." "What is it?" Jack asked. "These sharks and other predators you've described, they're all from Earth's past and present. But what about your future predators? What is humanity creating that might someday hunt among the stars?" Jack was surprised by the question. "What do you mean?" "Your species went from simple tools to space travel in a very short time," Grax said. "If Earth produced such perfect hunters through evolution, what might humans produce through technology? That's what some of the Academy officials are wondering." Jack hadn't considered this perspective before. Were some aliens afraid of what humans might become? "We're not looking to create predators," Jack said carefully. "Humans want to explore and learn, not hunt other species." Grax nodded, but didn't seem entirely convinced. "I believe you, Jack, but not everyone at the Academy shares your peaceful goals. Some see your Earth predators as a reflection of humanity's potential." Later that evening, Jack received a message from Director Zora asking him to come to her office. When he arrived, he found her talking with two officials wearing the silver uniforms of the Galactic Security Council. "Miller, thank you for coming," said Director Zora. These representatives have some questions about Earth's military capabilities. Jack felt uncomfortable. I'm not really qualified to discuss that, Director. I'm a biology student, not a military expert. One of the officials stepped forward. We're not interested in current Earth weapons, Student Miller. We're interested in how Earth's predatory wildlife has influenced human thinking. Your sharks, for instance. Have humans created underwater vessels based on their design? Well, yes. Some submarines have design elements inspired by shark bodies for better movement through water, Jack admitted. Biomimicry copying nature's designs is common in human engineering. The officials exchanged looks. And these wolves you plan to discuss next week pack hunters that coordinate their attacks. Have humans adapted such strategies for space? Combat? Jack realized now why they were asking these questions. After learning about Earth's impressive predators, some in the Galactic Union were worried about what humans might become. I think there's a misunderstanding, Jack said firmly. Yes, Earth has developed incredible predators through evolution. And yes, humans have learned from them. But we've also learned to protect and preserve life. The same curiosity that leads us to study sharks also drives us to explore space peacefully. Director Zora held up one of her 4 hands to stop the officials from asking more questions. I believe Student Miller has been very clear. His lectures are about biology, not military applications. If you wish to learn more about Earth's peaceful intentions, I suggest you speak with their official ambassadors. The officials didn't look happy, but they nodded and left the office. I apologize for that uncomfortable situation, Director Zora said when they were gone. Your lectures have had an unexpected effect. Some see Earth in a new light as a world that produces not just life, but effective strategies for survival. Should I stop the lectures? Jack asked, worried. No, said the director firmly. Education is the best way to fight fear. Continue teaching about Earth's wildlife. Help us understand your world better. As Jack walked back to his room, he thought about how his simple shark presentation had changed everything. He had wanted to show that Earth wasn't primitive, that it deserved respect in the galactic community. He had succeeded, but now he faced a new challenge helping other species understand that humans could learn from Earth's predators without becoming predators themselves. Jack's second lecture about Earth's land predators was even more popular than his first. The auditorium was completely full, with many beings standing along the walls. Jack talked about lions, tigers, wolves, and bears. He showed videos of how these animals hunted and explained their special adaptations. The audience watched with great interest, especially during the simulation of a wolf pack hunting together. After the lecture, Jack was approached by an important-looking alien he hadn't met before. The being had shimmering gold skin and wore a formal outfit with many colorful badges. Student Miller, my name is Ambassador Zell from the Diplomatic Corps, the alien said. Your lectures have created quite a stir in the Galactic Union. I hope. In a good way, Jack said carefully. Mixed, said the ambassador. Many are fascinated by Earth's wildlife. Others are concerned about what it means for humanity's development. I'm organizing a special meeting of ambassadors from various worlds. We would like you to speak to them about Earth, not just its predators, but its entire ecosystem. Jack felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. I'll do my best, Ambassador. The meeting was scheduled for the following week. Jack worked day and night to prepare a balanced presentation about Earth's biodiversity. He wanted to show that Earth wasn't just a planet of fearsome predators, but a complex world with many types of life working together. On the day of the meeting, Jack arrived at the Diplomatic Center, a beautiful building with a dome that showed the stars and planets of the galaxy. Inside were representatives from 30 different worlds, all sitting around a large circular table. Ambassador Zell introduced Jack. This is student Jack Miller of Earth, who has kindly agreed to give us a broader view of his homeworld's ecosystem. Jack connected his tablet to the room's display system. The screens around the room lit up with images of Earth from space, a blue planet with swirling white clouds and green landmasses. "Thank you for inviting me," Jack began. "In my previous lectures, I focused on Earth's predators, particularly sharks. Today, I want to show you that Earth's true strength isn't in any single species, but in the balance between all life forms." Jack showed images of different ecosystems, rainforests, deserts, oceans, and grasslands. He explained how plants, herbivores, and carnivores all played important roles in keeping these systems healthy. "Yes, Earth has impressive predators," Jack said. "But we also have remarkable plant life that can grow in harsh conditions, insects that build complex societies, and tiny bacteria that help break down dead matter into nutrients for new life." An ambassador with blue fur raised a hand. "But isn't it true that humans have disrupted this balance? Haven't you caused many species to go extinct?" Jack nodded, deciding to be honest. "Yes, humans have made many mistakes in how we treat our planet. We've polluted waters, cut down forests, and hunted some animals to extinction. But we're also learning from these mistakes. Many humans now work to protect endangered species and restore damaged ecosystems." "And what about humans themselves?" asked another ambassador with 4 eyes. "Are you predators or prey?" Jack thought carefully before answering. "Humans evolved as omnivores. We eat both plants and animals. Early in our history, we were sometimes prey for larger predators. But our intelligence allowed us to survive by working together and using tools. Today, we have no natural predators, but that doesn't mean we're perfect." Jack showed images of human cities, farms, and conservation projects. Like any species, we're shaped by our environment. Earth's diversity taught us adaptability. Its dangers taught us cooperation. Its beauty taught us wonder. For the next hour, Jack answered questions about Earth's climate, its history of mass extinctions, and how humans were dealing with environmental challenges. He tried to be balanced, admitting human flaws while also highlighting their efforts. To improve. Finally, Ambassador Zell spoke. "Thank you, Student Miller. You've given us much to consider. The Council will now discuss Earth's application for increased participation in galactic affairs." Jack was asked to wait outside while the ambassadors talked privately. He sat in a waiting area, feeling nervous. Had he said enough? Too much? Would they see humans as a threat or as potential allies? After what seemed like hours, Ambassador Zell called him back into the room. "We have reached a decision," the ambassador announced. "Based on your presentations and answers, we believe that Earth and humanity have much to offer the Galactic Union. While some members expressed concerns about human expansion, most were impressed by your species' ability to learn and adapt." Jack felt relief wash over him. "Therefore," continued the ambassador, "we are approving Earth's application for full membership status. Additionally, we are establishing a new galactic wildlife conservation initiative inspired by your planet's biodiversity. We would like you to serve as a junior advisor to this program." The ambassadors applauded. Several approached Jack afterward to express their interest in visiting Earth someday. When Jack returned to the academy that evening, he found Grax and the other members of the Earth Wildlife Study Group waiting for him. "How did it go?" Grax asked eagerly. "Better than I expected," Jack said, still processing the news himself. "Earth has been granted full membership in the Union, and they're creating a new conservation program." The students cheered. "And there's more," Jack added. "The Diplomatic Corps is organizing the first official tour of Earth for interested species. They asked me to help create the itinerary." "Will we get to see real sharks?" asked a small purple alien. "And wolves?" added another. And these honey badgers you keep telling us about? Grax asked. Jack smiled. Yes to all of those, but from a safe distance. Later that night, Jack sent a message to his family back on Earth. He told them about everything that had happened since his shark presentation, how it had changed attitudes toward Earth, created new opportunities for cooperation, and even earned him a position with the diplomatic corps. His father's reply came the next morning. Always. Knew those summer trips to the aquarium would pay off someday. Proud of you, son. Just make sure those aliens understand that sharks aren't our pets before you bring them to visit. Jack laughed as he read the message. When he had first arrived at the academy, he had felt like an outsider, the primitive human from a backwater planet. Now, because of his knowledge of Earth's wildlife, he had helped secure Earth's place in the galactic community. As Jack walked to his next class, he passed a group of new students who had just arrived at the academy. Among them was another humana, girl with red hair, who looked just as nervous as Jack had felt on his first day. Excuse me, she said when she saw him. I'm Lily from Earth. I just got here and I'm feeling a little lost. I'm Jack, he replied with a friendly smile. And trust me, things get better. Earth has a lot more respect around here these days. Really? She asked, surprised. What changed? Jack grinned. It all started when I told them about sharks